Hello, this is Rosie Fiore-Born, and this is my capstone project for my MFT 690 class, and I'm doing it on structural family therapy. What is structural family therapy? Developed in the late 1960s by Salvador Minuchin, structural family therapy was created to work with issues on a family level and not focus solely on the individual, since he believed the family is an interconnected system. SFT focuses on restructuring the hierarchy of the family and repairing the family's communication style, create defined boundaries, and address imbalances that exist. By emphasizing family participation in the therapeutic environment, SFT aims to improve relational dynamics. Core concepts used are joining and accommodating, mapping, enactments, boundary setting, and unbalancing. Issues that can be addressed using SFT are divorce, addiction, trauma, and family conflict. Personal theory of change I chose. By having the understanding that a dysfunctional family structure can contribute to psychological issues, we can use SFT to restructure the way a family interacts. We can analyze the boundaries within the family and identify what needs to be adjusted, such as if there is enmeshment or disengagement, for example. Together, we can identify the subsystems within the family and define each individual's role. By recognizing the existing strengths between family members, we can use those as resources to build upon moving forward. We can work on observing the hierarchy within the family and, if need be, restructure it to establish a balance of the power. Ultimately, cultivate new strategies to create change and make a roadmap for the therapeutic process moving forward. Therapeutic model of choice. SFT can provide a collaborative approach between the therapist and the family to create the framework, goals, possibilities, and strategies needed to make positive changes for the family system. SFT can help in creating the approach used to assess the family and come up with a realistic intervention, all without focusing on the problems that historically existed within the family. By identifying and building upon existing solutions, we can focus on identifying the strengths that have worked positively in the past and apply them to help create the family's ideal future relationships. The core concepts of SFT and the theory of change. The family as a system. Families operate as independent units. Family structure consists of roles, rules, and patterns of interaction. Hierarchy and subsystems defines relationships and authority levels. The boundaries, these can be rigid, clear, disengaged, or enmeshed. For the theory of change, the family structure influences individual behaviors. Therapists work to restructure dysfunctional patterns, and change occurs through identifying and modifying dysfunctional family interactions. The goals of SFT and techniques used in SFT. The goals are to clarify and realign roles within the family, establish and adjust healthy boundaries, identify and modify family hierarchies and subsystems, and strengthen family communication and relationships. The techniques used are joining. That's where the therapist enters the family system to build trust. Structural mapping identifies family patterns and dynamics. Challenging assumptions encourages flexibility in family roles. And enactment, and that is family members act out the situations to practice new patterns. Process of change and termination in SFT. The process of change, first order change, problem is addressed but structure remains the same. Second order of change is family structure is altered to prevent reoccurrence of these issues. The therapist assigns homework, and this reinforces and solidifies the information gathered by the family during the sessions. The termination in SFT, it occurs when families show improvements that is sustained. Therapists will consult with a family member to make sure everyone has confidence in the information gathered and feels secure with one another moving forward. And then the final session will focus on reviewing the progress and preparing for the future. Working with unfamiliar populations and cultural considerations using SFT. Awareness of therapist identity, and for myself, a white, middle-class, Jewish, heterosexual female. understanding cultural differences in communication, power, and family roles, avoiding biases by maintaining an objective and culturally sensitive approach. The cultural considerations in SFT. Some cultures emphasize collectivism and individualism. Power dynamics in families may be more hierarchical. Mimesis is when the therapist may mirror the family's language patterns in order to build rapport and a connection. Universal family assumptions and addressing family conflict in SFT. Families are intrinsically connected. Change affects all family members. Behavior is not good or bad, but works within the family system. Boundaries and hierarchies exist in every family, but vary by culture. In addressing family conflict, we see that conflicts often arise due to unclear roles or boundaries. Enactment helps families visualize and practice new dynamics, and the therapist guides but does not dictate the changes. And finally, the example that I gave with the case of a diverse family application, and then I'm also going to include the conclusion here. My case was with a 15-year-old Black female questioning her sexuality in a Christian family. Therapist joins the system in order to understand family concerns when I met with the family after meeting with the individual first for a few sessions. Uses enactment for respectful dialogue between daughter and mother, but it was both parents, but mainly the mother. Reframing to shift focus from morality to creating stronger family connections and bond. And in conclusion, SFT restructures family interactions in order to promote healthier dynamics. Change is achieved through modifying patterns and boundaries and hierarchies. SFT works by empowering families to work on their own relationships independently and ultimately have better connections and relationships moving forward. And that's it. Thank you very much.